Let's rank my top 5 DIYs of 2026 so far. Now, I love all of my projects from this year, but I definitely have a few favorites. You could be the judge, but I have ranked my top 5 based on my personal favorites and also the ones that I felt like had the best before and after transformation. Let's start with number 5, cafe curtains. I love these cafe curtains and they came to me at a thrift store at the most perfect time. I was right in the middle of my laundry room makeover and I needed cafe curtain fabric. I was totally on board with making my own, but I wanted to find some fabric, ideally thrift some fabric that worked, and I ended up finding the exact thing that I was looking for. I wanted the stripe with the little pattern in there, and this was the right color and everything, so I got both of those longer curtains for $4 and a valance, and I hemmed them. I also got that curtain rod from a thrift store. So I ended up hemming these curtains to be the right length for my windows. And the reason I ranked this one as number 5 is because I love the way these look in the laundry room. They really transform the space, but I wouldn't necessarily consider this a huge DIY project. I wasn't reinventing the wheel or anything. I was just hemming some curtains. So that's why it's number 5. But as far as like how I like the outcome, this one might be my favorite as far as the way it looks in the end. Then I did this really cool hack on them where you make it have a faux pinch pleat look by just folding it over at the top to resemble the look of a pinch pleat. Then you use the curtain clip to clip it on there, and that truly made a huge difference. It took it from this might just be fabric hanging up to this is an actual beautiful, possibly designer curtain. Look at those reveals. I just love that. They look so good in the laundry room. Now let's move on to DIY number 4, the laundry basket. And it's probably the coolest laundry basket you've ever seen. So I was having what was a very unsuccessful thrift day when I came across this basket, and it was like the light shining on me in that moment because I finally had a great score that day. I couldn't believe it when I spotted this basket because it had such a unique shape. It was wicker rattan and it is shaped like an urn. It's got these beautiful handles, it's got scallops at the top and at the bottom. And then when I Google image searched it, I saw that Anthropologie makes one that is very, very similar, except just that middle pattern is a little bit different. And that one I believe was almost $200 if I remember correctly. And I got mine for $10. $288, there it is. So yeah, I really scored on this one, and it came with a very dirty yellow laundry bag that was inside it, so I threw that away. And I knew that I wanted to get rid of this yellowy tone. It was even more yellow in person than it looked here. And so I did a paint wash technique on it after cleaning it very well, of course. So I wanted it to be more of a medium brown color to match the color scheme that I was going for in my laundry room. So I'm using brown oxide and nutmeg brown, mixing it with water and doing a paint wash on it. So overall, I chose this one as number 4 because it is also a pretty simple DIY. It's only one step, just the paint wash in whatever colors you want. So overall, not the biggest, fanciest DIY, but it is still one of my favorites because it's such a unique piece and it adds so much to my laundry room. And DIYs don't always have to be hard or have so many steps, and they can still be transformative. And then after just a simple paint wash, it had this gorgeous medium brown color that looks so beautiful in the laundry room and really makes a statement when you look in there from the kitchen. I've been trying to be more intentional about taking care of my health from the inside out, and one thing that's become part of my routine is cowboy colostrum. Mainly I wanted to improve my gut health, but then I learned that there are also so many other benefits that come from taking colostrum. So thank you to Cowboy Colostrum for sponsoring this video. Cowboy ran a clinical study and found that 83% of participants reported improved gut health, 79% experienced less bloating and inflammation, 72% saw improved digestion, and 62% saw fuller, thicker hair. I also appreciate that cowboy colostrum comes from 100% grass-fed cows, and they only collect the surplus colostrum after the calves have had everything they need first. This is whole, unprocessed colostrum that's high in protein and has no artificial flavors or fillers. This is nature's liquid gold. And they just launched this new cookies and cream flavor, which is one of the best flavors to exist. And when you put this in milk, it tastes like a cookies and cream milkshake. So it's been really easy to incorporate this into my routine by putting it in my coffee or matcha. So if you're looking for a simple daily habit to support your gut health and immunity with the added perks of nicer hair and skin, check out Cowboy Colostrum. My viewers get up to 25% off their entire order by going to cowboycolostrum.com/Anastasia and using my code Anastasia. That's up to 25% off your entire order, cowboycolostrum.com/Anastasia, and use my code Anastasia. What I'm ranking number 3 is my fabric lampshade DIY. And this one all started when I thrifted this giant lamp for $10 from the thrift store, and it resembled this $285 lamp that I saw on Etsy. It more than resembled, it was the same lamp. So what a steal on that lamp, but it didn't have a shade, and this is a big lamp. It needed a big shade. Those are expensive. So I went on Facebook Marketplace, and it was my lucky day because I ended up finding the exact shade in the exact size for $5. So that just was meant to be for me. So that's what inspired this whole makeover. And I really wanted to do a fun patterned lampshade, but I of course have never rewrapped a lampshade in this way before. So the old lamp harp was very bent and the lampshade was like sitting on there wonkily. So I got a new brass lamp harp and put that on there first. And then I ordered some fabric from Spoonflower. This is the Moody Chrysanthemums. And I thought it would look very pretty and bold on this lampshade. Surprisingly, it's very easy to rewrap a lampshade. And I just made a template out of a big piece of paper and then cut the template and then cut the fabric based on the template, and that's it. It was very scary before I started, but then once I started, I realized that it was actually not very scary at all. It was such a relief when the fabric fit. Then I used some spray adhesive to spray it all over the back, and that's how you attach it. And I just rolled that lampshade right on there, and that was the most satisfying part of this DIY. I also did a little somewhat of a lime washing type technique with a paint wash on the base of the lamp. However, the base of this lamp did dry to be kind of a weird color. It kind of reminds me of that pink calamine lotion. So I am gonna redo that in the future, but this lampshade I'm still obsessed with. So I ranked this one number 3 because I do love the lampshade. It was a very easy to do and very transformative DIY, but I do want to redo the bottom part of the lamp. Coming in at number 2 is a piece of furniture that is possibly the biggest trash to treasure DIY project that I've ever done, because this thing was seriously, literally on its way to the trash. And now you can't even tell. This table was in rough shape. It's gotta be pretty old for one, but 2, it was used as a plant stand for a long time and it has a lot of water damage. All of this veneer had to go. It was lifting and bubbling. 2 layers of veneer from the top had to come off, and that is what it was looking like underneath. And I was like, oh my gosh. And to my horror, there was mold in there. So I sanded that surface down really well. Thankfully it was surface level and it all sanded right off, but I also washed it with vinegar afterwards just to make sure any spores were gone. There was a lot I had to fix on this table because of its age and the water damage, but I will say it was very worth spending the time to restore this piece so that a piece of furniture history didn't just go to the landfill. I used the gel stain in Kona on this because it's pretty dark and I needed something that was darker than the original stain that was on the base. And after staining all that down, I put a nice top coat on it, and the transformation of this piece is what made me choose it as the number 2 DIY of this year, because the new life this piece has. I mean, I can only imagine it's going to be around for several more generations, and you would never guess where it started. And coming in at my number one DIY of 2026 is my sister's dresser. This dresser has quite the story behind it. So it started out as a very, very yellow pine dresser that my parents bought when they were newly together. And it was in my childhood home all throughout me growing up. I even found little stars that I had drawn on the side of it when I stripped this paint off. So of course it was this yellow pine color, but then in 2020, when everyone was, you know, bored at the house, me and my sister decided to paint it what we thought was gray, because that was like the color to use back then, but it was actually this light blue color. And ever since I got deeper into the world of DIY and home decor, I always wished that I had not painted it, because it was a kind of unfinished piece of wood that I put paint all over. So when this dresser was going to be given to my other sister for her room, she wanted it brought back to wood. So I thought, great, this is my chance to redeem myself. And for some reason I thought carbide scraping would be a good idea, but that was labor intensive. I was thinking I was getting away easy because I was avoiding having to strip the piece. Now I feel like stripping would have been easier. Those are my little stars that I drew. And even after I scraped and sanded all that paint off, there was still so much blue paint in every little nook and cranny. It had soaked into the wood grain. It was in every little crack. And so I did end up getting some paint stripper to get off that last little bit of blue. It kind of hurts reliving this project. So as you can see, pretty labor intensive for this whole process. And this was just getting it back to raw wood. But I did eventually get it all off, and I went to this local store that sells new and refurbished furniture, but they also have this entire section of vintage hardware. And so I got these really cool vintage drawer pulls from there. I spent like 2 hours digging through all the bins of mismatched antique hardware. I didn't even realize this, but I feel like so many projects in this video are paint washes. But I gave this a paint wash because I was going for a pickled look, and it worked really, really well. I did end up changing the color because the first color I used was a little bit too pale and not warm enough. It was like very gray. There I go. I wish it really went that fast. So yeah, it was a little bit too gray. So I went to the store and got a paint sample of like a khaki color and ended up doing a second layer of paint wash over that with the khaki. This was my first time doing a pickled finish, and it's definitely a little bit of a learning curve because of just the color theory involved with the undertones and picking the right undertone of paint to the undertone of the wood of the dresser itself. And it's just an experience, but it is a rewarding type of DIY to do. And that's really why I ranked it as number one, because it was such a process, and it had such a story, from undergoing one transformation to being stripped back and undergoing another better transformation. This dresser deserves to be number one because of its redemption arc. I mean, it started from the bottom, now it's here. It has come so far. And I am really proud now when I look at this dresser and I know that I didn't just paint over a solid wood piece and leave it like that forever. I redeemed it. I really did. So now I'm about to install the beautiful vintage hardware. The hardware, finding that's part of this dresser's whole story too, because it was just such a lucky find that took so long to dig through. Lots of love was poured into this dresser. This piece definitely deserves number one. It's so beautiful. I feel like a proud mom. Like, oh, look at it, I'm so proud. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that it was fun for you to relive some of these DIYs from this year, just like it was fun for me to relive them. If you didn't catch these DIYs the first time around, make sure you're subscribed so that you don't miss out on all the future DIYs, because there are so many to come. And if you're interested in seeing the full details on each of these DIYs, I will link all of those videos in the description for you. Let me know also if you have a favorite DIY that I've done that you think I should have included in this list. Thank you all so much, and I will see you very soon in the next one. Bye guys.